happens.
So you want the SBC Global?
Yeah, BGP 4400 at sbcglobal.net. I don't know why, or my computer skills on a scale of 1 to 10 is -0001. And for some reason, sometimes on Outlook, I don't get the email for a couple of days.
Okay.
All right.
Michelle, are we live yet?
Yes, you are.
I'd like to call this special council meeting to order on February 9th, 2021 at 6 p.m. Roll call, Jenny.
Matt,
Yes.
Ben,
We're
Yes.
Marty,
Here.
Tammy,
Here.
Scott.
Here.
Okay, this is a meeting about the First Amendment to the transfer agreement or ordinance 2021-17 and ordinance authorizing the mayor of the village of Mantua to execute the First Amendment to the Mantua Village County of Portage Water and Sanitary Sewer System Transfer Agreement, declare an emergency. Open for discussion.
Looks all right to me now.
Mhm.
Everybody understands it?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Would someone entertain a motion to suspend the rules?
So moved.
Second.
Scott,
Yes.
Ben,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Tammy.
Yes.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Tammy,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Ben,
No.
Scott,
Yes.
Marty.
Yes.
Okay, it passes. That's the only thing on the agenda. So could I have a motion for adjournment at 6:02?
So moved.
Second.
Scott,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Ben,
Yes.
Tammy,
Yes.
Matt.
Yes.
Okay, guys, stay safe.
You too, Ben.
You
Take
too,
care of
Ben.
yourselves.
Have a good evening.
You too.
I was fortunate that I got my second shot yesterday.
Oh, good for you.
Hey.
Yeah. I think so.
I'm gonna stop my video for a minute because I'm gonna finish my salad.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy. I'm gonna have ribs.
Enjoy your ribs.
I'm having Cavadels.
I'm having another meeting at 6:30, so.
So am I.
Well, I was on 6 hours, 6 hours of meetings today. One was 4 hours long.
Ooh.
That's
On
painful.
Zoom?
Good
Yeah.
practice for a 2-minute meeting, huh?
Yeah, I know. So, so this wasn't bad. It was a nice way to cap the day.
Enjoy.
Yeah. But we did get 2 5-minute breaks during our 4-hour.
Oh,
That was nice of them.
Yeah.
Hard to do what you had to do in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Tammy,
my long-
I think I'm gonna open the bottle of bourbon I didn't get to open last night.
there you go.
That's what I'll have for dinner.
I think my longest Zoom meeting was a 6-hour meeting, moments after I told my boss I was resigning, and then had to sit in a 6-hour Zoom meeting with him.
Oh,
That was fabulous.
I got a really good one for you. I had we just got a puppy I was mentioning, and at the time she was about, I think, well, we just got her, she was 8 weeks old, so it was like a week later, she was 9 weeks old, and I ended up having a meal. It was supposed to be half an hour, went for 4.5 hours, and the dog at the first hour, all of a sudden I'm sitting here and I'm like, what do I smell? The dog took not one poopy, 2 poopies, and boy, did they stink. And I had to be on the whole time because I was the one leading half of the meeting. Oh my God. And it went for 4.5 hours. I about died.
Now show us a picture of the puppy because she's really cute.
Oh, get the puppy. Show us the
Oh, I don't-
puppy.
We got
I
time.
don't,
Come on, everybody,
my-
get your dogs.
my kids have the my kids have the puppy right now.
Oh,
Aw.
text them. They got it texting. Text them and tell them to bring the dog in.
Here we see.
We did it, Michelle. We guilted them into it.
Here, I'll show you my puppy. Come here, puppy. Come here, puppy. Oh. Here.
Oh,
Say hi, Holly.
hi, sweetie.
Say
Hi, Holly.
Yeah. Hi. Oops. Yes, I know, sweetheart. Okay. Yes, you're a good girl. Okay. Yes, that's your. Okay.
Where's your cat at, Matt?
Let's see. Oh, she was here.
Pet show and tell. Oh, puppies!
She's got her little
Oh,
she's got her
my
little
God.
bone in her mouth, so that she's like growling at me.
God, look how big she's
Oh,
gotten.
God.
She's a
She's
big
got-
whopping 7
Last time I
pounds.
saw her, she was
Oh, boy.
like this big, up on his shoulder.
Oh,
She's still pretty close. She got longer though. She's getting longer.
Yeah.
yeah.
What kind of dog is it, Gene?
Cavachon. So I think it's a Cavalier Spaniel mixed with a excuse me, a
Bichon?
Bichon. Yes.
Yeah.
And she's got more of the
beautiful.
Cavalier in her.
She's like, I gotta go. Leave me alone.
Yeah. You got a
Or my
bone.
favorite is she'll sleep all day and then sorry, I got like a little tickle in my throat. Then all of a sudden I'm in a meeting and I have to be the one talking and she gets up and decides to play. So then she's jingled with her bells and her toys.
Matt, did you get your cat?
Yeah, let me see where she's at. Hang on. They came back to the she's so cute.
I don't have a pet right now, so
Aw.
it's okay.
Mine's downstairs somewhere.
We had a beagle for 16 years. It was enough torture.
Oh,
Yeah. Mine's going on 15 and he is getting slow.
I miss having an animal, but I sure don't miss having to find somebody to babysit them when I go on
Yep.
vacation. Of course, I don't know when the
Exactly.
last time I really had a good vacation. Maybe this year, guys, maybe this year.
You went on a
be
vacation.
good.
Didn't you go south for a little bit?
Pardon me?
Yeah, but
Didn't you go south for a little bit in November?
We went in September for 5 days,
yeah, it was short.
very short, too short.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I talked Lauren into not getting another dog. She had her eyes on another dog, and I was like, babe, but when we go on vacation and you gotta, yeah. So I think we'll be dogless for a while.
that's what we did because we had a Labrador. So again, you're not taking her with you.
Yeah.
And plus she sheds so much. I didn't want her in the car anymore because I got tired of vacuuming. And so when she, unfortunately, we had to put her down and my kids were like, I want a dog. And I'm like, I want freedom. So that's why we went with the small dog, which I was against in the beginning. But I got to say, it's working out because, yeah, she's so little. You could take her with you. I mean, we haven't gone anywhere yet, but it's.
Yeah, but
it's
you
a lot
only
more
went a
fun.
week without a dog.
I know. You know who's the boss in my house?
Yep,
My
not
wife
you.
and 3 kids. Exactly. I think my neighbor's got more pull than I do.
We had the passive aggressive beagle who, when she turned 14, I looked at her and said, nobody's going to blame me when you die now. They're not going to look at me. So I to be 16.
We
Well, I
had a
think my
lab
kids
mix.
would
She
do-
was the best.
Oh, labs are great.
Labs are
They're
great.
such good dogs.
Especially living here on 44. She stayed in the yard. She was super. Oh, well.
Matt, did you
Old
lose your cat?
ladybug.
No, I think she's upstairs sleeping. I called her a few times because I can call her and she'll come.
Oh, because she's a cat. She's like, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So I think
Yeah,
she's
leave me alone, Matt.
sleeping.
Wait, we got Wes on. Is Wes have a pet?
I don't know if they have any animals or not.
Yeah, didn't they just get a big dog? Like a Labradoodle or something?
I don't
Not
know.
that long ago?
Marty's got a cute dog.
Yeah,
Yes, he does. His
Yes,
dog's a
does.
handful, though.
Well, so let me tell you a story about
I have
Marty's
2
dog.
handfuls.
Debbie Voges lives next to me. You know, Marty's just one down. Debbie's got a
Mhm.
dog tied up in her yard that's not hers for like hours one day. And I finally went outside and I was like, Debbie, what's with the dog? She's like, I don't know. It was running around and I just caught it and I figured somebody, I was like, wait a minute, that's Marty's dog. I said, why has Marty not been around? Oh my God. I was like, I'll go knock on Marty's door. I was afraid I was going to have to like call 911. Marty's, passed out somewhere. Cause I was like, he would not leave his dog just gone. He was chatting with a buddy and didn't notice.
So Marty called the police and the police were out looking for it.
It's like, Marty, you missing your dog? He's like, what? Oh, I was worried Marty was injured. I was like, oh no.
Marty's dog has had some pretty good adventures.
She's a cutie
That
though.
is the truth.
She spent an evening at the village tavern when they corralled her when she got loose one day. I think Joe's taken her home a couple times. Him.
Buddy went to visit Manline one time after the fires. Buddy was curious. Buddy pretty much knows the town.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he don't watch it when he crosses the street.
And I don't know of any other Huskies in the village. So if
Yeah.
they say, hey, there's a Husky, we automatically know where to go.
The people across the street from us in the old convent, I don't know what kind of dog they have, but it's a big ass dog. It's almost like a
Oh.
pony.
In Fosnight.
The Foss Knights.
Yes.
She's adorable.
And
they have a
they
big
they
dog.
walk that dog every night, like at 9 o'clock, you see them.
What is it, Joe?
I don't know what it is, but it's huge.
Big and
It's a
brown.
big dog.
Yeah, big brown dog.
Big
Oh.
brown dog.
And it's long hair.
It's not an Irish wolfhound?
No, it's like a poodle mix, I think. Kind of, it kind
Oh,
of looks
really?
like it's got those kind of ears and it's, yeah. I don't know.
Huh.
I would not want to vacuum after that dog.
Matt, did you look over those applications?
Yes, I did. Nothing
Mhm.
really stood out. You know what I mean?
I think
But-
we should ask to run an ad again. I'm gonna say, let's bring them in and talk to them.
Yeah.
So let me know when you're available. I
Anytime
don't know,
next.
do we want to do Zoom or have Michelle set up a Zoom for us or have them come in person or? I don't know. Do it by phone, you and I
Yeah.
meet and then call them.
Yeah, let's see where they are. Like they're in Ravenna, right? Like 2 more in Ravenna.
They were
Yeah.
close.
I'm all for meeting in person, but
Me too.
You get a better vibe over people.
yeah.
Tammy,
anytime
tell
next
me,
week.
go ahead.
No, just anytime next week.
Okay.
I'm available. Yep. I think.
Tammy and Scott, you can probably answer this question. Tell me about the canoe ramp, I guess you would call it, in Red Fox?
I've not been down there.
It's just
I can tell you about it.
a gravel takeout.
Oh, it's just gravel?
Yeah. Well, it was
Okay.
last time I took out there. And it's just this,
I
I
heard
mean,
Portage Park
you can
put
drive
something in.
down to the, pardon me?
I heard that, I was told to call Portage Parks because Mary Ann and I have been working on that paddle enhancement grant.
Yeah.
We have an estimate to do everything and the guy wants to put in a concrete take in, but because it's in the floodplain, we would have to do all kinds of Army Corps of Engineer stuff, cost a lot of money. And so Matt Smith from ODNR suggested we go take a look at Red Foxes and see what they put in, because he says that works real well there.
Well, Gene says he knows about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
theirs is a long ramp. It's it's just a really long ramp up to the parking lot. You can drive down to the water if there wasn't a bunch of people down there and load your boat. But I mean, it's really just it's a walkable grade, but it's
So is it
pretty
like
high
putting in
ramp.
is it like putting in at Ladue on 44 or
Yeah,
you know, up
yeah.
at Ladue where you can just drive
Yeah,
to?
exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you can drive down no, it's steeper than that. It's a steeper ramp than that. But I mean, it's just a big gravel drive. But it's the perfect spot for a ramp. It's like the river takes a bend and I mean, it's right there. It's very convenient, but they had a good spot for it. You know, we're
Yeah,
trying to,
Mary Ann and I have the grant, almost the written part done. Todd Lamb drew us the drawing. It would be paving the entrance to the canoe turnaround, but
okay,
widening it,
okay,
putting 4 parking spaces there right up against the river before you get to the kiosk. 2 of them would be
okay.
handicapped. And because it's so close, we can also pave the parking lot between the lodge and potato building and the volleyball court.
Oh, wow.
So
And I
that's
told
getting a
him we
lot
need to
done.
trim that tree.
And he would be widening the turnaround. I think he said by 10 feet or so, because he noticed that when like Camp Hire, whoever comes in and picks up, they always go off the gravel and they've made a muddy mess, so widen it.
Yeah. And we remember when we did that, we had them go down there with their trailer and drive around that tree
Mhm.
20 times so we could mark it and make sure that they weren't going to run off of it. They still run off of it. So,
Well, he gave me a price with doing the concrete ramp. So we're gonna have to remove that because there's no way we can afford that. Plus we want to this grant does not pay for any engineering at all.
okay.
So we
There-
want to avoid,
Look at you.
Oh, there you go.
look at him.
So yeah, this picture is this is May of 2019. So they got the gravel, it's just a gravel parking lot.
Yeah.
And then they put over here, they put 2 trailer parking spots. You can see how when people don't obviously drive in it much, it's starting to grow in with like grass and stuff. But it's really nice when you go over there. They got this nice little, excuse me, sorry, I'm zooming around. They got this one light here. It's a security camera. Funny enough, it's I never even realized it was there until I just looked now, but they got a little solar panel up there for
Yeah.
security. And then they got this little, like, I don't know what you call these, like a little hut house kind of a
Little
thing. It tells you,
Kiosk.
yeah, kiosk. Yep. They got a little thing where you're at in the river. Obviously, this is the end because if you keep going, then you hit the you can't go any further. What is that? Akron's water supply down here. And then there's the it's kind of, it doesn't really give you the feel going in there, but they got this. I don't know if you can see it on the screen right there above my cursor.
Mhm.
I don't know what you would call that. It's like it's an anchor spot that you could tie. I guess people, I don't know what, I've never seen anybody use it. I don't know what you use it for, but it must be to pull your canoe out or something.
No, I think what that originally was is I think they had like we have on the trail, they had a flip up board so you couldn't drive down there, had a lock on it. That was a roadblock originally.
Oh,
It had a 2x8 that stood up with a
yes.
no vehicle sign on it.
Yeah, that is not that. That is definitely it's this precast thing right there. It's this little steel thing. It's like almost like you anchor something on to pull stuff up.
Huh.
Because you can,
Well, it's
like you
not
said,
that steep of a grade.
oops. Oh, it is I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not flat either. But oh shit, I can't really see if I because you can see they got the wood bollards here they put in there, and they
Mhm.
skipped it right here so you could drive back in there. God, I can't really zoom in anymore, but it's this pre-made thing. At first, I thought it was the same thing, but you know what? I take that back. Maybe they put that in there because they had the money for it, right? They put it in there. They just didn't put the physical bollard there, and they left one of the bollards out because maybe that was the intent. But they're kind of like, you know what? Let's see if any. I'm just guessing. Maybe if they have a problem with people driving down there, they'll put something up.
Yeah.
Or maybe they had it up and they immediately took it down or something. Because now I look at it, it could do that function too.
I've never seen anybody drive down there
Yeah, I haven't either.
because it's just not that far of a carry to carry your boat up from the water. But
Yeah.
Where's that at?
Red
Red
Fox.
Fox,
This is
that's their water treatment plant.
yep, right there. So let's see here.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Yeah, there's Turnpike, Shilesville.
Right after the Safe Ford store, you turn there,
Yep.
Yeah,
Matt.
Yeah, it's right there.
yeah, no, totally. That was like nothing forever. So that's just a couple years ago or last year. What, a couple
Yeah.
years ago? They did that?
Yeah,
I think
just-
it was
it's only
like
been-
3 years ago.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
3 or 4 years now. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're always looking for places to drop a boat in the river, and we found that spot, and we're like, oh man, there's not really anything, no parking or anything over here.
The worst carry in is at 82, when you park at 82 and then have to
Yeah,
carry
that's-
down to the river.
At the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I'll have a completed application for you guys for council meeting.
Yeah.
Mary Ann's going to take a road trip down there tomorrow. I don't know, is that incline down to the ramp gonna be too steep for her?
No. No, she can see everything she needs to see from the parking lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then we'll give Todd a call and have him revamp it. Then it's just a matter, it's 100% reimbursable grant, so we'd have to come up with the $46,900 right off the bat to do it. But then we get it all back. As long as we get the grant, we have to do, and he included signage and everything, so.
Yeah, if you look at that picture, Mayor, the ramp is
There you go.
right
There we go.
at there you go. It's right there.
So there's the bottom of the ramp,
Okay.
and then there's that concrete thing I was telling you about that's in the ground there,
Yeah.
and there's that little kiosk, and there's the light.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, that was just like a natural pullout right there. It was perfect.
See if there's anything.
Oh, that's great though. They got trailer parking and everything. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yep.
they got 2 trailer parkings right here. Yeah, you can see they get a lot of use. You can see the cars, the vehicles coming in and out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the last spot to take out before you hit Rockwell. I mean, once you go past that, then you run into Lake Rockwell. Oh, well, I mean, it's a mile down, but there's nowhere else to pull out.
Yeah, let's see. There it is.
So who owns that property there?
I think the county does. That's the sewage treatment plant's property.
Mhm.
Yeah, the county. Let's see. Oops.
So I'm pretty sure it's county property.
I know that's their treatment plant, so I'm pretty sure they own that too. Because then
Yeah.
there's a right off this. This it's not showing up over here, but this is the house
Yeah, there's
residential,
a house on the corner.
and then this is all what do you call this? The old stone. What do you call that? Gravel pit over here.
Lafarge. Yeah, that was the old Lafarge plant.
Oh, gotcha.
Look at all the dirt bike tracks.
How do I get back there?
What did they used to call that when we were growing up back? Something Hill back there.
Oh,
Everybody used to go parking out there, drinking beer on temporary price. I mean, we're talking, let's see. I've been out of school 50 years. 50 years ago?
yeah, I'm trying to
wait,
think.
That's
No, you're
longer than you
absolutely,
guys have been, any of you guys have been alive.
you're absolutely, it was something, something Hill.
I'm almost 52.
Was it Rebel Hill or
I
I
can't
don't know.
I can't remember. I think it's been so many things over the years. It was a gun range for a while.
Mhm.
I think Portage County just bought, because this is their other side over here. So this is the part we were just looking at here. But on this side, Portage County, they put up a little sign right up front here.
Oh, they bought that old farm?
Oh.
Well, technically it wasn't I mean, they farm it. There's a farmer does, I think, hay or something. But that's all the old sand mill, or not sand mill, sand and gravel. Oh, there it is.
Oh, on
There's
the
sign.
opposite side of the road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So now I'm
Yeah.
looking east here, and there's their little wood sign they put up.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay,
too
well, we
bad
got
that-
4 minutes before the meeting starts, so I guess we should get back to being ready for real business instead of gossiping.
We're talking business. We're talking.
That's true.
So is that on private property? How do I get a dirt bike back there?
Yeah.
You know what?
Hey,
I don't
that's
know
what-
who owns that now.
I can tell you, my kids were going there. I mean, tons of people been going there. You can see it, but then somebody calls the police, and the police come out, and that's Shelly Sand and Gravel own it. And so yeah, last year, I had to go pick up my kids because them and their friends were riding their dirt bikes back there, and a whole bunch of a couple police came out and stuff, and they're like, private property and stuff. So my sons and his friends are no longer allowed back there. But all the neighborhood kids, that live in the surrounding area, they still go there. It's kind of a shame though. There's no place to ride in this, communities around here, and you've got just land sitting there that's perfect. They have kids have fun. I mean, I end up taking my kids, my sons into the dirt bikes. I got to take them an hour away every time just to go somewhere.
Yeah.
It was kind of a convenient little spot there. And he met some friends over there, some, kids he made friends with and stuff. It was really nice. But
Just insurance ruins it for everybody.
well, yeah, it's the idiots that, you get hurt, right? I mean, like my son, he actually broke his leg back there. It was almost fall. He was riding, he hit a tree, and it was. I'm not suing anybody. It's like I paid for it. It was, it could have been anywhere. But you get those people that it was a dangerous place. Well, you shouldn't have been on somebody's property. It's too bad. Wait a minute, Joe. I forgot. Are you you're fire or you're police?
Please.
Ooh, you got any friends at the Sheila or the county that
Not that kind of friends with favors. I could probably find out who owns that though.
Oh, I already know who owns it because I did check on there and it was Shelly.
But you're right, one person ruins it for everybody. Or
Yep.
then they got to start, if everybody would just go ride, it'd be one thing, but then everybody has to try to up one and do something. And then next thing you know, they ruin it and then nobody's allowed.
And the downside is, like, again, I teach my son. I mean, he's 15 now. So he was going there for about 2 years. And I always taught him, be respectful. Whatever he takes back there, I'm like, you take your, like if he takes a sandwich or something, I go, you don't throw your
Lock it in
wrappers
again.
down. And you've got people back there that are throwing beer cans and
Just click
Yeah,
on
we've
her
gone
blue
back there and
highlighted
you
thing.
and you see people even drive, like we saw, I was back there with them once and I saw these people on ATVs come back there drinking beer or stuff while they're riding ATVs. And I'm just like, okay, first off, that's just stupid, number one. But number two is just, You ruin it for everybody.
Right.
It's a shame.
If you remember back in the 70s and 80s, you could go to a farmer and ask to hunt on their property and it was never an issue. You could groundhog hunt, deer hunt, everybody, and then people started shooting at their cows and everything else, and they
Yes.
just ruined it for everybody.
Yep. It's exactly right.
Tammy, now I'm showing my age, hunting back in the 70s and 80s,
What year did you graduate high school?
86.
I was 87. So
I was 90. Woohoo!
95.
We got an 88 there? Anybody? 88, 89. Going once.
Okay, John, go all the way down to the lower left-hand corner. It's gonna tell you if you're logged in. We can see you. Can you hear us?
Nope.
you just answered. You
Can you hear
can't.
us? Nope.
He's
Okay.
mayor now, I see. He's mayor. This is Mayor Clark.
We have Mayor and we have Mayor Clark.
He's using my old laptop. Michelle, change his name.
She's like, yep.
I can't hear you.
Well, your microphone's working.
We can hear you.
Make him just come sit next to you. Pull a chair.
Wait,
next-
go down to the right-hand side on your volume thing and see what I have the volume on. Maybe I have the volume shut off down there. Sorry, I'm talking loud enough so you can hear me upstairs.
Well, if he yells loud enough, we could probably hear it through your computer.
Okay, say
Is your
something.
Can you
Is
hear
your
us now?
speaker turned up?
I got you now.
Hi, John.
Hey, John.
I just shut you all off.
Hey, John.
Hello. Motion to adjourn. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order now. At whatever time it is, 6:32. Everybody have a chance to go through the minutes from the last meeting? Any corrections, additions?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, I'm not seeing Wes. Is Wes with us tonight?
Yep.
He's
Yeah,
right
awesome.
next to you.
Okay, well, I'm not seeing him on the computer. But I see him now. Hi, Wes.
Hey, John.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Okay, let's move on. We did that. No citizens on board. Zoning inspectors report. Is there one? Yes, no?
What?
Zoning inspectors report?
Yeah, I have a zoning inspector report. It'll be
Okay,
on file in the office also. Dollar General met about an easement with the county and we're going to be discussing that. They also want a replat. BZA is going to be holding on the 18th or 19th, I can't remember the day for sure, for a variance for a sign. Approved a sign for the new Quick Mart. It's not a beautiful sign, but it's not internally lit. Chilling station addressed, they want to put up sun sails over their deck down there and the county is approving that. A new, let's see, a beauty salon called a New Day Salon is putting just a sign in their window, and R44 Butcher and Baker Shop got signage. That's what I've been working on.
okay.
For
Any
zoning.
questions or comments for that? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to new business. Dollar General, got an email earlier or last week sometime about a replat for the property that Dollar General is going to build on. Any questions on that? Okay, I
What did
need
they
to,
move? What did they move?
they didn't move anything. Michelle explained to me that it's just it more defines where the pins are.
They just resurveyed the property lines. The old legal description was based on a survey from 1949 and then a subsequent subdivision of a lot to the east. So that lot just needed to be resurveyed. I don't think the county would accept it the
Okay.
way it was. So that's all it is.
Okay.
So you guys just need to approve it by motion and somebody can sign off on it.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, opposed? Okay, motion carries. Tom Van Auken, on that particular thing, Ryan Shackelford did get back with me. I'm now wading through typical federal government stuff. Everything I see that this grant does not come due until about somewhere in the last quarter last year. What we would consider the pre-application isn't until September. So that's going to give me time to go through these downloads that kind of explain how to do the grant. Tammy and Scott, you guys are going to talk to council. Did you get any feedback from them?
We really didn't. You know, we discussed, correct me if I'm wrong, Tammy. I mean, we just told everybody about the problems that might exist with the horrible ground. So, I mean, I think everybody's, I think we all feel the same way, that we want to, you know, we want to try and help him, and we would like to see the building gone, but we also don't want to, we don't want it to cost the village anything, you know, and that bottom line is, if that thing needs, you know, if that lot needs cleaned up, we can't afford that.
It's gonna be major bucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a mess. I mean, I don't know, John. I just think it would be nice. It would be a nice thing to have, but not for that price tag. I can just.
I think we're basing it on knowing people and we want to help them and make the community better. But I think it's something we should walk very quickly away from, in my opinion. But
Could
there's-
we ask Tommy Van Auken to do a core sample so we know what the ground is like actually? Or, you know, pay for a core sample so we know what we're in for. Are we able to do that, John?
I guess that's a possibility. I could get in touch with him. It's just that, you know, I'm not going to spend all the time trying to figure out how to do this grant if council's not going to go for it. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
And again, I did, you know, I used an old colloquialism, but I won't. They need to either say yes or no.
Well, I don't think. Yeah.
I think Tammy and Scott need to explain it to them one more time and get a motion whether or not we think that we're
Okay.
ever going to be able to spend the kind of money it would probably
Okay.
take.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're just gonna keep saying, oh, well, let us know, let us know.
Okay.
Wes, what's your feeling, Wes?
Well, I don't know what the end result's gonna be. I don't know how much it's gonna end up costing. John, I don't think that you should necessarily have to be the one digging into this. We have legal that can kind of pave the way for that and kind of point you in the direction that you need to go. So in my opinion, the burden shouldn't be on you. And until it actually costs us $1, I don't see why we shouldn't be pushing this, you know, further down the road. Let's get to the point where we can make the decision and make it with more information. So I think Tammy's point of the core sample is a good one. But I think he was the one that told us it was built up on old tires anyhow. So, I mean, we kind of know what we're looking at. I think we need to know what the end result would be, what the state's gonna need us to accomplish. I mean, if it needs to be completely redone and they tell us that, then that kind of solves the issue for us. We know it's old tires. But if they say, you know, as long as the ground surface meets X, Y, Z requirements, and we think that we can reasonably do that, I say move forward with it. So I guess it's a couple points there. John, I don't think the burden should be on you. I think that we should continue to pass it, you know, keep going through the process as long as it doesn't cost us anything, and then find out what the end result of what it's going to take for the state to sign off on the project. Outside of that, that's my only thoughts on it.
Okay, I will say that it seems like, and maybe we need to talk to CT. I don't know if they've done it. Gene, I think we talked to Gene about this once, and I don't think that he's been involved in one, but it seems in the research that I have done that the grant covers a lot of costs. It's just, you know, when I saw how much, I think Ohio only had $150,000 last year in the grant that Ryan Shackelford kicked out to us, and that just doesn't seem like a whole lot of money.
No,
No,
not if you pay Tommy, you know.
Okay, maybe I'll give Tommy Van Auken a text or a call and see if I can't hook up with him a little bit and see what how far he's willing to go. I mean, he's got to invest some time and energy into this project too. It's
right.
I mean, it's going to benefit him more than anybody else. Okay, any other discussion on that?
I would say that whatever we do get from him needs to be in writing. You know, not just a yell, I'll cover the costs of this, but, you know, this is what we're estimating, put the amount in escrow, and, you know, we'll you know, take it from there. But I don't think that we should be, you know, taking a handshake and a, yeah, I'll cover that gesture.
Okay.
No, but I think you should start with the core sample though, John. I mean, I think that's a perfect idea. That's a great way to start with him too, you know, see how serious he is.
Instead of a core sample, and when you say core sample, it just to me implies just like somebody going out and drilling down. A phase one assessment would be probably more in line with that. And with that, and again, I'm not 100% sure of all the things that are entailed in that, but it's big picture. So if you had let's just say somebody dropped you in the middle of Ohio and said, hey, buy that property, you'd be like, well, what do I know about it? Phase one, we go through and just look at big picture of, well, does it have any history of like a gas station or again, a dump or tires or something like that? It used to be a car repair place. If that doesn't show up, they also can look at other things, not just for that, but environmental as well, like wetlands and streams. I mean, it's just big picture saying, hey, there's a potential of something. And if they feel that they find a record, in the case, it sounds like it will, of a tire dump, I think you were saying, or tires possibly being dumped there, they would say, hey, that is enough reason to move to what's called a phase two. That's where you get into the more meaty, somebody like a scientist going out and they start doing drilling and test samples and history and stuff like that. But the phase one is that first step. And that's actually what they call it.
I think the phase one we're already through. Are we not?
Did they do that?
I mean, between the history of Linda and John living in Manaway and knowing everyone, and Tommy telling us what he's been told,
yeah,
you know, and the building sinking and cracking, and I mean everything along that river seems to be sinking. I mean, I think we kind of know that phase one is probably. I think he's probably pretty close to, you know, telling us.
Gotcha. So
everything.
phase two would be that next step because a
Right.
phase two would take it to the stage of and again, I don't know the property or what's involved, but let's say soil sample or samples, drilling down, maybe excavators, whatever it is, that there's a report on it. Then they give you that report would say, again, I'm going to make this up. It's tires that could be removed down to like 10 feet and you take it out and then it's clean and you're ready to go. Or it may say it goes down 50 feet and you can't take it out because it's got some chemical that you can't touch or something like that. Or, they would give you that report and analysis of what to do next. That would help determine what actually would be the next step. Because again, if it's something that would cost, I'm making up a number, $10 billion to fix, then you're going to be like, nope, we're going to do it. If they say it's $20 to fix it, then okay, fine, that's something you'll do. But that way you get something science behind it that a professional has looked at it that says what would be that next step to do something with the property. Because
So
you're
I
right, you
looked
don't.
up what a phase two costs. It's about $5,000.
I don't know what it is, but that sounds about right.
But I mean, that's letting Tommy know it's about $5,000 if you want to go forward,
Yeah.
have a phase two done.
Well, I guess, and I think the other conversation that should probably be had with him is, I mean, let's just say, hypothetically, the building gets removed. The village doesn't want anything to do with it. At what point is the EPA, since that building sits on the river, I mean, at what point, once that building is demolished, are they going to want that soil remediated? I mean, once you tear the building down, is that going to be the next step for whoever owns the building? I mean, whoever owns the lot. I mean, either it be Tom or the village, or, I mean, it seems like the logical progression. It's going to cost somebody some money.
By the way, you brought up a good point, Scott, that I didn't even think about. I didn't really, there's a building there. If it's got asbestos in it, if it was built prior to the 80s, 70s, 80s,
Right.
the phase two would also pick that up too, which again, it's a pretty straightforward thing. I mean, it's got a cost associated with it, but it would again document if you could just knock it down or if you have to actually do abatement or something or whatever it takes.
Right.
Yeah. And you don't want the village or this homeowner. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's just everybody needs to have their eyes wide open, right? I mean, it's like you don't want the village to take it on, and then even if you got the property for $1 and it costs you $1 million to clean it up because you're saddled with it, wouldn't be good.
Right. Well, I think that's where Tammy and I were trying to tell council. It's like, yeah, it sounds great, but this could end up costing, just a boatload of money that we don't want to be tied to. So, okay.
You might do a pulse check with them as well and just say, how much are you willing to spend on this? If they come in with 0 to, X amount and it's not realistic, then we just forego the project. Because it's going to end up costing us something. So you might just want to, have them put a dollar amount on it. This, we're willing to pay X amount of dollars towards this and come to some kind of consensus.
What concerns me too is the amount of money that FEMA grant, John, if you said it was $150,000, last year, that doesn't even purchase the building,
There was a couple different grants that you can apply for. They called the one that Ryan had mentioned to Tom was the FMA, and that was it was 160,000. There's another one called a BRIC, and I don't know what the acronym means. May have to call somebody on council to figure that one out. But that was $500 million. Nationally.
Okay.
Probably nationally, that's probably not a lot of money.
Right. Well, yeah, right. Okay. It just seems, it just doesn't sound like enough money.
Well, maybe the thing for me to try to do is get some kind of a meeting with Ryan Shackelford. Locally, he's the guy that's going to know all about it. He's the contact through the state FEMA, and maybe I can take all these questions to him and see what he has to say about it. I don't know. Again, you know, we're picking this up in the middle. We don't know what Tom told him
Right.
to him, so he's not aware probably of what the potential for at this site is. You know, we're going on the fact that I know of only one business that has gotten into that property, and that's Perfect Choice. And when he built that addition on the back of his front building, that's where all the tire information came from. But you take a look at the old Napa store, and it's splitting in half. So,
Yeah.
you know, and like somebody else said earlier, you know, you're seeing cracks everywhere. And so it's just safe to assume. And I think Tommy had, when I talked to him last time, had mentioned that Jeff Benner was working at Stom's at the time that they built those. I think they're about 45 years old. He thought that it was consistent landfill, if you will, from the bridge on 44 north past. I don't know if it goes as far as like that building next to Graham's.
Okay.
So okay, I'll get in a phone conversation with Ryan, or maybe I can Zoom him or something, and we'll figure something out some more. We'll get a little bit more in depth then.
Oh, you're on mute.
Ryan was just up at Village Hall last week, wasn't he, Joe, when he dropped some stuff off for us? So he would probably come up for a meeting.
Oh,
Like,
he'd be willing to meet in person? I'd much rather do it that way.
I figured you would, so let me
You
reach
call.
out to,
If you
I can-
call, and either him or Brett will answer the phone down there. And then if you get a message to him, he'll call you back. Because
Yeah.
we were awarded a radio through a grant, and that's what they were delivering last week. So he is out in person. So yeah, just call down, and either him or Brett will be the one to answer the phone.
remind me in the morning before I leave to give him a call when I get there. Send me a text after I get to the office. I made myself a note, but I might forget.
Okay. Okay, call Ryan. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on. The next time Planning Commission needs review sidewalks. We went through that. I know the mayor and Mary Ann have been pretty busy lately. I don't imagine they've gotten anything done. I did.
That doesn't sound, we've been very busy.
Didn't get anything done on the sidewalks. I guess I should.
Didn't, well,
But
right. We've started setting ourselves goals of things that we are trying to accomplish every week, because, I mean, we've got probably 10 different things that we've got our hands into right now, that trying to complete things. I mean, we've spoken with Sean Thompson. I forgot to tell you this about Manaway Vet Clinic. Told them what the expectations were of continuing with the project, what they might be up against because the neighbors are against it. Dr. Emoff is still thinking about whether she wants to proceed with that. And I mean, that's just one thing. The water lines down, just a lot of things. So we're very, very busy. Hopefully council will pass legislation to advertise for a village administrator, and we'll get one sooner than later.
well, I think as long as there's snow cover on the sidewalks, it's going to be a pretty daunting task to figure out.
Right.
Unless you actually get out and walk on them.
No, thanks.
If you just mark down that address.
Well, while we're on this topic, and I've seen this in other ones, I just kind of let it go, but it says that Wes said he knew someone, and Scott told Wes to go ahead and get quotes. I'm not familiar with anyone who lays sidewalk for a living. So
I think we just, yeah, I
We
don't
may have
think,
been joking. I don't know, but it's been in there. It's been in there for quite a few months. So I just figured I'd nip that while it was still, while we were discussing.
Yeah, we can, I mean, that's probably a thing that you'd want to bid out if that's the way we're gonna go with it. And there's a lot of guys locally who do this.
oh, yeah.
So finding somebody to do it, I don't think is gonna be the issue. Finding out what they need to do and how it's gonna get paid for is gonna be the issue.
Sorry, Wes, all I do is copy and paste some of the stuff, so I'll correct that for next month.
No, you're good. Thanks.
Your name's spelled right. Come on.
It's hard to misspell West. It's only 3 letters, right?
Hey, you just never, what were we calling you before though? Bob or something?
Something to
I forget, Mary Ann had the wrong name.
Dave.
Dave.
I think we called him Dave.
Probably.
Any more discussion on that particular topic? Okay, old business, we're probably still gonna want to continue to table the rental inspections. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, that's been kind of a hot topic with council regarding the village administrator. So let's see where that ends up going.
Okay,
I think we resolved it, didn't we? With what?
Well, I think we did, but
I think it was just a, hey, it'd be nice, but okay, done, move on, right?
okay. I do have something on that. Last month, John had mentioned that we were supposed to get some plans to do a site plan review on the trail extension going west toward Mennonite. And I haven't heard anything. Have we gotten anything from them yet?
I received the plans for that. We re-looked at the agreement for their lease that they have with us, and they are allowed to do digging and grading on that. And so it was determined between the solicitor and myself that they did not have to get a site plan review. We did encourage them because when we leased it to them, we couldn't give it to them or sell it to them at the time, because when you apply for a grant, you have so many years before you can not take care of it and get rid of it again. And we've reached that threshold that she being Portage Parks and Chris. The reason they haven't proceeded with it when I spoke with her last week was part of the trail is on Charlie English's property that he owns further west on the trail. And there's something holding up them getting an easement. So she being Chris Craycroft is supposed to be sending Michelle and I the information that seems to be holding it up so we can see what she's talking about. So for right now, they're still going to lease it for $1 a year, but they do not need to have a site plan review.
Okay, I just want to get a clarification on this grading and excavation. Does that mean the current trail, or does that mean expansion of the trail? Does that include expansion of the trail?
It's on all the property that they're leasing from us, which is all the way to the end.
Okay, so the village actually owns that to Mennonite Road?
Yes,
Okay.
And-
Because I saw in the paper, they've already advertised
yes,
for contractors to extend it.
right. The only thing that would have triggered our site plan review would have been expansion of parking or ingress and egress, and they're not doing any of that on village property
Okay.
or on the trail property.
Okay. Other than that, the only other thing we had on the agenda was some zoning and maintenance issues. Do we have any updates on any of that stuff?
Yep, just a second. Okay. Michelle, I had sent another letter to, I think Chris Mathis, correct, Michelle?
Yes, I did, January 13th.
And let's see, I have not done anything with Prospect Street yet. We've also reached out to that Brent Minerovicki, or however you say his name, about getting his occupancy permit. And I sent a letter to Scott Engel on 119.
Okay.
That's where I'm at with.
Another,
And I
another,
have noticed some other areas that need stuff done. I just, until I can get out from underneath wearing 3 hats, some stuff's gonna have to slide.
okay, another building in town that we may want to start paying attention to is Lonnie Love's building next to the bank parking lot. Stan Krass and Larry Lito's old building. I'm seeing fascia boards falling off. I mean, it's a pretty serious problem.
Right, there's Lonnie Loves, there's Mrs. Spence up on Reagan Street. We need to get after Dr. Grayson. I can't, what's the guy who owns that? Funky name.
Oh, foreign name, the same guy that owns Pleasant View, Paul?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
What's his name? I can't remember. You always seem to remember it. Not Fredo, pardon me?
Who are you? Where at?
The guy who owns Grayson's old dentist office.
Frank Piazza, right? Or Frank Ferris?
Frank
Yatso.
Yatso.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Sorry. I knew that you knew his name. So that needs to be addressed. So does the people across from McDonald's.
Snyder's?
Snyder's. And I see that Tommy Wrestler, he's slowly progressing on his porch. They finally got the rails up and the steps up. Some of it's painted. There's a house down on Harold Street that needs to be addressed that has a little S10, I guess you would call it, pickup truck that is on blocks and is loaded up with tires and stuff. So that needs to be done. I know the chief has told me his name. We've talked about it. So I
Pete
have been
Amon.
seeing houses that need addressed. So
Okay.
let me get a couple things off my desk, and Mary Ann needs to learn the village a little better. And, you know, if I take an hour to drive her around town, and she can write down the addresses of some of those places. So,
Well, that's the reason I put the map in the office for her right next to her chair. Tell her to stare at it.
yes,
There's only so many streets in this town.
I know.
It's only
She
1
knows
square
that.
mile.
Okay, that's it for the agenda. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to bring up, discuss, comment on? Good. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay. If that's official.
Good night, everybody.
Night,
Good night.
everybody.
Good
Thanks.
Bye.
Wes, before you leave, do you need anything else for next week?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
Let me look. You sent there's an agenda that I believe Mary Ann sent.
Mary Ann did the agenda and the minutes from the last meeting for you. Michelle will probably be getting to you the day before, whatever that form is
Yeah.
you guys have to fill out.
We're still alive, but we're adjourned. Are we able to? There.